Hello, welcome to Angie's Blind Universe. To all my OG subscribers, I know it has been what feels like forever since I've uploaded anything, and I know y'all mostly know me for the dozens upon dozens of song covers that I've done, but I think I did like, I can count on one hand probably how many story times I did. But we're gonna change things up a bit because, like, why not? So, I actually am starting a new series on my channel, and today's video is actually the first one within that series, and it's called Ask the Community. So, think of your typical Ask Reddit stories. So, like, essentially, the way it works is I have quite a few people. They're volunteers, I promise. I didn't just like kidnap them or anything. And like, I have a question every week. For example, like, what's the best advice you've ever received? And then they will record themselves and send them to me, and I will compile the files together with some sexy background music. And that is what you all will be listening to. Now, whether you're a new or old subscriber, if you are interested in participating in this project, because the more the merrier, why not? Just comment on the video. But yes, and if you're new here, welcome. And please like and share with your friends. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy. All right, so our question for this week, because we are all blindies, and I'm sure all of you can empathize with this and understand this, but you know, we have some cuckoo moments. So, what is your most embarrassing blind moment? And let's see what everyone has to say, including me. Okay, so let's see. Besides the normal thing of like, okay, you weren't talking to me, or I thought you were, but you weren't, and vice versa, or like, I've had many embarrassing dumb moments, but, anyways, here's my embarrassing blind moment, or at least one that's memorable, because I'm sure we've all had plenty. So, I was going to the Lighthouse for the Blind in New York, right? And I had to ride the bus to get there. And I got on the bus, you know, and I went to go sit down. And I really, really, really thought I sat on someone's lap. I mean, it certainly felt like it, right? So I get up, the bus is already moving, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I go back and I feel with my hands and I see that there's a car seat there. So then I feel with my hands in front of me because I'm like, hey, I'm rude. They didn't say it's okay. They didn't say nothing. Oh, well, maybe I sat on them while they were sleeping? Question mark. No. It's a car seat. I apologize to a car seat. No more words.
Most embarrassing blind moment. Not the voice crack. Living being visually impaired? Is that an answer? But no, in all seriousness, probably like any time where I forget where I put something, and because, not being able to see is a thing. When it's literally right in front of my freaking face, and I don't notice it for what feels like a whole good while. And I say while because, maybe it's a few minutes, maybe it's an hour, I don't know. But like, yeah, that blind moment where you put something down and because you can't see it, it'll be right in front of your face and you forgot where you put it, so you're just skimming around to find it. And, you're doing that thing with your hand where it's like, it's kind of hovering basically, so you can't find it even though it's right there for that reason because you keep hovering over it. It's so fun.
One of of my most embarrassing blind moments was when I put my shoes on the wrong feet. Yes, you've heard it, guys. I did just that. So, this happened a few years ago. I was walking out of the house with my mom and sister, and we were going to a couple places. We had to go to the store, and I just remember being in the store and hearing my mom start to laugh, and I'm thinking to myself, a laugh would be nice, but I'm not in the best mood right now. I was going through some things emotionally, especially being in high school. Sometimes we have that phase, and friendship issues, whatever. So I'm thinking, like, what are you laughing at? And she says basically I had my shoes on wrong, and I'm like, how did that happen? And I could question myself and say, why did I do that? And I understand that happens to the best of us, even sighted people. Whether you put your shoes on wrong, you put your clothes inside out, or you put your clothes on backwards, anything can go that way if even if you're trying. You could just be having a bad day. And so the only thing I can think of is I just wasn't in my right mind, and my mind was just in a whole other place. So yeah, put my shoes on wrong, and she didn't even see it until we were in the middle of the store. So yeah. Another blindment. Wow, what a word. Another embarrassing blind moment was when I was in college and I almost got into the wrong car. How crazy is that? Basically, I was walking out of classes, getting ready to leave. My mom was going to pick me up, so I was walking and I thought I heard her voice. And being that my mom does have a younger sounding voice, I just thought it was her, so I started walking towards the car and I opened the car door. That's the most embarrassing part. And then luckily I wasn't a stranger danger situation, because that could have turned out way worse than it was. So yeah, I almost could have gotten to the wrong car, and luckily I realized that wasn't my mom when I heard her speaking more. But yeah, that was crazy. Another embarrassing blind moment was now this happened when I was in middle school. I had a friend who I was sitting at lunch with in the cafeteria, and I thought that she was still there, so I was trying to have a conversation with her. Lo and behold, I was talking to her chair, guys. I was talking to her seat, having a conversation with her seat, or whatever I was saying to it. But yeah, and then after talking, I guess I realized she wasn't there, and well, that was kind of funny. So yeah, so those are some of my embarrassing moments.
Hi, so my most embarrassing blind moment, and I'm not sure if folks can relate, but maybe both sides can. This was when I was in high school, probably about 10th grade-ish. I was trying to figure out where my backpack was. And yes, call me crazy. I thought I put it down somewhere. Lo and behold, I keep walking and walking and walking to try to figure out where the heck it is. 10 minutes go by and I still don't find it. I keep walking in the same direction I left, and the one-on-one person pointed it out, asking me what I was looking for, and I said my backpack, and he said that I was wearing it the whole time. That was awkward and pretty embarrassing to me, because I thought I wasn't wearing it.
Hi, so my most embarrassing blind moment was the time, it was the first day back of year 9, so I think that would be like 8th grade or something. The age is 14 to 15. So it was the first day back in September, and I remember I had physical education class, so I was running down the stairs at college, at school, and I'm running down the stairs to get to class, when all of a sudden all I feel is someone tripping over my cane and practically flying/falling down the stairs. And of course, had I had vision, this could have been very much prevented, because I would have maybe spotted them and slowed down, and I wouldn't have had a cane where they would fall over. But of course I did not, so I made a point of extremely apologising, because I did genuinely feel bad. But that was nonetheless, luckily the person was uninjured, and they found the whole thing quite entertaining. It was like,
hi Angelique, it's Vinny. I am gonna tell you my most embarrassing story as someone who is blind. Okay, so be very mindful, because this also involved a sighted person too. So I was at All Eastern, a conference for music ed majors. I was at a Chili's. One time, one of my friends handed me a plate that had a Chili's meal, and it was French fries with the spicy tenders and mac and cheese. She handed it to me. I ate some of the fries, embarrassing. I was so embarrassed. I ate some of the fries, and guess who it was? It was another friend of mine, and my other friend, she apologized to me. Oh my gosh, that was such an embarrassing moment as a blind person, and I feel like, well, you know, the thing is though, I got the same order, but the only difference was that that I didn't get the spicy chicken tenders. Thank God I did not even eat the tenders that were not mine. It was my friend's. I was so embarrassed. Yeah, my friend saw it too, and I'm like, oh no. That was one of my most embarrassing moments, and I was like, oh dear, what have I done? And I was like, oh, that felt weird. Also very embarrassing at the same time. So yeah, and then my friend apologized and yeah, saw what happened and whatnot. So they were like, oh, I thought it was yours, but no, we found out it was not yours, but it's okay. Well, you know, we got our orders. We got our right orders after all. It was interesting, but also very embarrassing.
So, my most embarrassing blind moment, actually I'm not sure if this is my most, but this actually happened a few days ago. So I was walking, I think I was walking back to my chair from getting a drink, or I don't know what I was, but yeah, so I walked back to my chair, and I guess I thought my chair was in front of me, but, so my mom, like, just so happened to be sitting at the table, too, and I accidentally, like, reached up and, like, touched her ear, and, like, yeah, I thought it was my chair, so, yeah, I went to the wrong chair, basically, because, yeah, I was looking for my chair, but, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for listening to everyone's embarrassing stories. They were all definitely very interesting and entertaining to listen to as I was editing them in. Also, a big shout out to, I think it's Cami C, if I'm not mistaken, her YouTube, for helping me convert your background music into an audio file. But yeah, thank you for those of you who participated, and I hope that the rest of you enjoyed. And definitely comment to see what types of questions you would like for me to ask, or if you want to participate.